Namaste, beloved. How are you? My name is Syma, and I am an international sacred feminine and spiritual coach, healer, yoga teacher, and best-selling author. And I have the blessing of supporting soulful women all over the world in healing their blocks, transforming their lives, manifesting their dreams, and flourishing into the goddesses that they truly are. And one thing that I love to do is share videos to support you on your path wherever you are. And the topic for today's video is about how to not care what other people think. Now, I just want to be clear that I'm not talking about not caring about other people or being insensitive or inconsiderate to other people's feelings. What I'm talking about is just inspired by a lot of conversations that have come up in my client sessions recently, and even in conversations with friends. And this is about when we care so much about what other people think that it's beginning to take a toll on us, right? So it's affecting us because we are so concerned with other people's judgments that we might fear their opinion of us, their judgments of us, maybe fearing their disapproval of us. Some of my clients are coming out of the spiritual closet and going to be launching their own careers as healers and coaches. So they're going through what I went through, of course, myself, just that fear of going public. But it can show up in so many different ways. It's happening with friends on different levels, and it's happened to me many times in my life. So I share all this from experience, and I'm hoping to share with you some guidance and support on how you can stay centered in being a sensitive and kind person, but also be able to live your life on your own terms without needing to have that validation and approval of others, and also be okay with whatever people think of you, as long as you are being true to yourself in a conscious and sensitive way. So I hope that these tips really support you. And as a woman's spiritual coach, I'm going to be sharing things from the sacred feminine perspective. So I hope that resonates with you, and just keep an open mind to see if it does. I'm going to be sharing some goddess archetypes. So these are sacred feminine archetypes and goddesses that we all have within us that we can activate and cultivate in order to manifest a certain situation in our lives, or to create certain conditions and to heal certain conditions. So the first goddess that comes up for me when I think of how I can support you in healing this need to be in other people's good books and also to not care so much about other people think is a Celtic goddess, Bridget. And if you see her, she's very fiery and powerful and strong, and not the kind of woman that you think you can mess with. And this is about, first of all, being really strong in yourself and to know, what do you value? What are you about? What are you standing for that makes you so fearful of what other people might think? Because ultimately, the only person's opinion that truly matters, the only person's approval that you really need is your own, my love. And if you are coming from a place of needing other people's approval and validation, that normally stems from a lack of validation in yourself or of yourself, right? So the need to be in other people's good opinion means that you're not really in your own good opinion, and you're seeking that from other people, which is very unhealthy, because it means that we will do things beyond what we are truly comfortable with in order to appease other people and be in their good books, instead of being true to ourselves. So the question here is to ask yourself, what is needing to be approved by others, or worrying so much about if people are not happy with you? What is that costing you? Is it creating anxiety? Do you tend to have a fear of disappointing people? Because when I work with my clients and when we get into a lot of self-love work, one of the most empowering shifts that you make is learning to be comfortable with disappointing other people, learning to get comfortable with disappointing others when it means that you are being true to yourself, taking a stand for yourself, asserting your needs, lovingly and respectfully communicating your boundaries, or pursuing a dream. And if other people are unsupportive, they think you're nuts, or they are just not for it, and if they're attacking you, then, it's really up to you to question why you have people like that in your life, or what emphasis and importance you place on their opinions, why you are valuing their opinion over yours, right? So you have to ask yourself these questions. And it's not to say that you need to get rid of people like that if it's like your mom or, someone that is in your life. Although in some cases, when someone is extremely toxic and the relationship is very dysfunctional. And if you try to get support and therapy and help and things don't work, there are cases of needing to divorce from certain relationships or cut cords, right? So I talk about that a little more in boundary setting, that video, so you might want to check that out. But really, this is about you asking yourself, what is it costing you to try to please others, to try to be liked by others, to have other people think well and high of you? If you can be respected by others and be in their good opinions while you're doing your thing and being yourself, then great. But it shouldn't matter to you, right? What should matter to you first and foremost is being true to you. And this comes from cultivating that relationship with yourself, of knowing yourself. And this can come through a spiritual practice like daily meditation and writing down and journaling what your needs are, what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, what your dreams are, so that you really get to know you. And as you get to know you, you know what you stand for, what you value, and can take a stand for that, right? And can say, okay, well, here's what I need to do, and here's what my concern with what other people will think is costing me. Now, again, this is not to say that you shouldn't concern yourself with how your decisions will affect other people. If there are people that are going to be directly impacted by your decisions, that's something that we always need to consider and be sensitive to and do our best to work with everybody. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when it's become sort of dysfunctional and disempowering for you, the extent to which you worry about other people's opinions. The next goddess archetype I would love to share is Mary Magdalene. And with Mary Magdalene, she's a really interesting figure because in goddess circles, she's known to be the bride of Christ, the beloved of Christ, even his initiator. She's supposed to be a high priestess from the Isis lineage. And yet she, was also defamed and basically called a prostitute and a whore. So she really is that part of us that sometimes can be ostracized and misjudged, where others just cast stones on us and judge us really harshly. And that can be very painful and hurtful, especially if you've been, attacked by others or ganged up on, or if it's like a workplace situation where people are gossiping about you, or, with family or friends, and you just feel that people are putting up this case against you and you don't feel that that's who you are and it's unfair. That's when we really want to cultivate this inner Mary Magdalene archetype of rising above all of that and remembering that what other people say about you says something about them. It doesn't say anything about you. What other people say about you and how they say things about others, it only defines them. It doesn't define you. So you want to really be empowered by that, knowing that if other people are judging you harshly, if other people are being judgmental or critical or disrespectful or insensitive, that's who they are. And even if someone is directing that kind of energy at you and making it very personal and saying you are so this or you are so that, that's still their stuff, right? And they're projecting that onto you. But you can be like Mary Magdalene. You can transcend that and rise above it. And that's why the lotus flower is really popular in spiritual communities as a symbol of spiritual transcendence, because it's like the murky water or these challenges that we go through can be the things that people are immersing you in. But you have the power and the resilience and the grace to rise above that like the lotus flower and to still be untainted and pure and not get a drop of that negativity and toxic energy on you. And to still shine your brilliance and let your own beauty and radiance completely unfold in blessing to yourself and the world. The next sacred feminine archetype I'd love to share with you on this path of learning to take back your power is the beautiful Pele. She is the Hawaiian volcano goddess. And this is about, I'm wearing yellow, and hopefully you can see the yellow there in my chakra chart. Yellow is the color of the solar plexus. This is the power center, the energy center in your stomach. And this is about reclaiming your own divine self-esteem, your own self-worth, your own self-value, your own self-validation, self-esteem, self-love, self-respect, self-honoring, self-everything. And because when you are strong there, what happens is you realize where in your life you have been just leaking away your energy because you've been too concerned and consumed by pleasing other people and overgiving and maybe creating unbalanced relationships. I talk about that in how to stop overgiving. So there's another video that you can see, my love. But Pele will remind you to strengthen from the inside out so that you're not needing anything from others, so that you're truly coming from a place of inner fire and passion, and you're ignited and turned on to yourself and your life, and you're living your life oneness with your divine passion and that inner Pele, that fiery strength and empowerment inside of yourself. So it's really essential to cultivate that. It's one of the main things that I help my clients with through our coaching work. And I definitely invite you to, ignite that inner solar plexus, to reclaim your divine and inherent self-worth, because your dreams matter, you matter. Everything about you is holy and worthy and invaluable and priceless, and no one has a right to make you feel any less. So you also have the power to ensure that you are not giving that power away to other people, right? Because when you were so concerned with what everyone else is thinking of you, your energy is being leaked, and the same energy that you need for yourself is now just being given away. So you want to reclaim that and stand firm in your own beautiful light and beauty and self-worth and power. And the final goddess archetype I would love to share is the beautiful Roman Diana. Her Greek counterpart is the Artemis. She's a huntress. And this is about once you just cut those cords of, caring about what everyone else thinks and just start doing you and being your full, true and authentic self. And you've reconnected with that Pele, and you've done the Mary Magdalene thing of transcending all that drama and just rising above it all. You finally can have clear energy and beautiful focus to focus on what you want to do, what your dreams are, what brings you joy, what brings you energy, what uplifts you, who you are, how you want to express yourself in the world in your own unique and beautiful way. And you're going to actually start attracting people who honor and love you for that, just for being who you are, and people who will support you on your path and have your best interests at heart, and where there's, again, you won't need them, but you will definitely appreciate them, right? So it's so beautiful when you cultivate that inner Diana at that point of your healing journey. And it's like you're finally like this huntress, or hunter, and you are focused, you are clear, your target is whatever your goal is, being true to yourself, going for your dreams, being your full self, and nothing can get in your way, and you will make your mark with joy and passion and zest and clarity and focus, not minding what other people think, but respecting that everyone can think what they wish, and they are entitled to their thoughts as they are entitled to their feelings, as much as you are responsible for your thoughts and your feelings, and you're making sure that you are honoring them, as long as you are also, again, being compassionate, kind, graceful, and authentic with other people, knowing that that does not mean a free pass to be, inconsiderate. Sometimes when we get on this path, we say, I'm just being authentic, and so I told that person to shut up. That's not being authentic, that's being mean. So we want to make sure that we are also maybe having a spiritual practice or staying centered in our own peace. It's that Mary Magdalene archetype again, where you are just rising above it. So if you need to be assertive with someone, you don't say, I don't care what you think, I'm going to do what I want to do, but you are kindly saying, so for example, when I've done things in my life and I've had to pay huge prices for them, I've sometimes been disowned by my own family and my own parents. I would say I need to do this for me. I'm not doing this to you. And I would just say that really respectfully and clearly, right? So this was when I needed to get them to stop hitting my younger siblings, my parents. When I refused to be forced into an arranged marriage at the age of 18, I was in Canada, and when I wanted to pursue a post-secondary education, I was forbidden, and my parents, mainly my father, did whatever he could to sort of block that. And I pursued it anyways. I had to go through a lot on my own to get myself to post-secondary education. And he didn't talk to me for the first year of my university until I got a perfect GPA and all these awards. And he actually was really proud of me at the end and ended up becoming an advocate for women in Pakistan to get post-secondary education as well. So that's a really happy ending to that story. And in fact, he said to me that he was very proud of me for taking a stand for what I believed in, right? So that may or may not happen, but the cool thing was that he said that, and it's not like that made my day or my life. My dad finally approved of me. It was like, cool. I'm doing my thing anyway, right? So whether or not you approve of it, that's fine. That's all you, but thank you. But I'm just doing me. So it gives you this amazing freedom when you are true to yourself, because there may be consequences and prices you have to pay. But to me, nothing is as high of a price as compromising and sacrificing who you are and what you came here to do in exchange for just having other people approve of you or being in their good opinion, right? So I hope that this has served you, and I would love to hear which goddess archetype you most resonated with, how you feel that you can cultivate that in your life. So yeah, just let's have this exchange and continue this conversation. I love to see your comments and questions, and I don't answer personal questions. I do that in coaching. So if you need my personal support, you can book a session with me at flourishinggoddess.com. But I will take your questions because they really inspire me to make follow-up videos. So I do love them. Please share and subscribe if this has served you. There's many more free videos. I have one on self-empowerment and self-love. There's some guided meditations for you. So I hope those serve you. And what I would love for you to do is come on over to my website, flourishinggoddess.com, and let me give you a free goddess meditation to help and empower you and help you to flourish. And I just send a lot more free support through my newsletter. It's a lovely way to stay connected. And join me on Facebook and Instagram as well if you feel guided and connected to my work. So thank you so much for joining me. Me and the goddesses are sending you all our love. Namaste.